think people are in shock. They're trying to move ahead, get things done.
Sun Prairie business owners are sharing their plans to move forward following a deadly gas explosion, and police offer new information today about the state's investigation.
When we're dealing with anxiety or depression or the experience of trauma, we know that those are things that very rarely they just go away.
There's a statewide push to get kids the help they need when they need it. How area districts are helping students through dark times before it's too late.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thank you for joining us. There are still some significant safety concerns in Sun Prairie following this month's deadly explosion.
Sun Prairie police say the state fire marshal's office is still investigating the circumstances surrounding the gas leak explosion in the area of West Main and North Bristol streets. Officers have completed their own site investigation and have released the scene to the city's building inspector and public works director. Fire Captain Corey Barr with the Sun Prairie Fire Department died during the explosion. More property owners are able to start cleaning up inside their buildings since police have reopened part of the green zone. Rose Schmidt is live in Sun Prairie to show us the area that's still closed off to the public. Rose?
That's right. Well, the businesses have a wide range of damage. The ones closest to the site of that blast are going to need to be torn down, but luckily some others only had broken windows. It's going to be a long road ahead, but the business owners tell me they're just happy to get the cleanup process started.
This is the epitome of a neighborhood bar.
Pit Stop Pub is on Main Street.
It's like part of your home is gone.
And up until Friday, the owner, Jeff Hofer, couldn't get inside to start cleaning up.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage that you can't see, a lot of cracks and stuff that all have to be repaired.
But when Jeff was able to go upstairs, he found significant damage in the apartment that he rents to two tenants.
The whole roof does have to be replaced. The engineer explained to me that it was actually lifted off the building and then set back down.
Ann Smith is the president of the city's Chamber of Commerce, which luckily survived the explosion with only cosmetic damage. But that doesn't mean it's been an easy experience.
I just think people are in shock. They're trying to move ahead, get things done. You know, there's a lot of steps to get back open.
Luckily, crews were on the scene Monday beginning the cleanup process, which should alleviate some of that stress.
You know, we're all trying to keep a positive attitude, a lot of fundraisers, a lot of stuff like that.
The Pit Stop Pub and some other businesses near to the explosion site still don't have a timeline of when they'll open. But right now, they're thinking about their customers, not what they've lost.
People come use this place to congregate, make their plans and stuff like that. And so it's a big discomfort not only for us, but for the customer base.
Hoping to bring the neighborhood bar back to the neighborhood.
Investigators say now this area is still not safe for people to walk through, so those who own property behind the fence are going to have to request access from the city's building inspector so they can get inside.
Rose Schmidt reporting live in downtown Sun Prairie. Rose, thank you.
A little boy will meet some of the Sun Prairie firefighters this week. Gavin Martin and his family helped raise more than $5,000 for the Sun Prairie Relief Fund through a lemonade stand. The Martin family plans to drop their donation off Wednesday night.
A cake shop on Madison's west side will be closed for a few days. A woman drove her car into the Vanilla Bean around 11:30 this morning. An employee tells us she had just finished up with a customer and was heading to the back of the store when the crash happened.
As I was going back, all of a sudden I heard the big bang and I thought maybe somebody was shooting, and I kind of ducked and came up around the corner and everything was flying and it was a car.
Firefighters are working to see if there is structural damage to the building. The manager says the store will reopen once they know it's safe.
Construction companies can learn more about working with Foxconn next week. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation is hosting 2 information sessions next Wednesday. Those sessions are designed for companies who want to become vendors, subcontractors, or suppliers for Foxconn. There will also be an update on the construction schedule and timeline for contractor bidding. The information sessions are free, but registration is required. Wednesday is the deadline to register to vote in the Wisconsin primary election. Voters will be asked to choose the Democratic candidate for governor and the Republican candidate for the United States Senate. You can register by mail by sending your voter registration form and proof of residence to your municipal clerk, or you can register online at myvote.wi.gov. Turning to weather now, Dave Caulfield previewing the forecast as we start the work week. Dave?
For the next couple of days, Eric, I think it's pretty much textbook summer weather with plenty of sunshine, a little bit of humidity with us. Great weather to hit the pool. The polar bear has the right idea. Temperatures staying in the 80s over the next couple of days. Live look in downtown Madison, plenty of sunshine, but also some higher kind of hazy clouds building in. Hopefully we get rid of those by tonight. 83 degrees, north-northwest wind at 8 miles per hour in Madison. Dew point still at 64 degrees. Temperatures are in the 70s and low to mid 80s right now as temperatures begin to come down a little bit as the sun setting in a few hours. Dew points in the 50s and 60s. So still a little bit steamy at times. Wind speed out of the north and west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. That wind definitely less than what it was this weekend. We don't really need to worry about that breeze. This evening, though, temperatures falling through the 80s and into the low 70s, partly cloudy and humid. We'll talk more about when storm chances come back into the forecast in your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. As the Mount Horeb community is trying to deal after a number of youth suicides this month, area schools are looking to do more to help kids struggling with mental health.
In any given year, state figures show about 1 in 5 students deal with an issue relating to their mental health, and approximately 4 in 5 who do never receive help. News 3's Madeline O'Neill has more.
Charlotte and Eric, today the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction is announcing more than $3 million worth of mental health services grants for 64 school districts in the area. But those with DPI say that amount doesn't come close to covering the need in the state.
I think there's a part of it that feels overwhelming.
While students deal with things like depression and anxiety, it's the space they're in nearly every day where they're most likely to get help.
It can be isolating for our children and youth, and many times schools are one of the few places where they're accepted.
As survey results show, depressive symptoms and suicidal thoughts on the rise amongst Wisconsin's students. School districts like Madison Metro are adding more mental health services, like incorporating licensed clinicians.
Treatment and response really makes a difference, particularly when we think around suicide, creating the space where a young person can be open about how they're feeling, can really change the trajectory as to where that child could go.
Madison is one of dozens of districts across the state receiving a grant for mental health initiatives from the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction. But those with DPI say many schools will be left without a boost.
So we left some people in the lurch, which is not what we wanted.
That's because while about $3 million was set aside for the grants, the department received $8 million worth of requests.
It was very surprising, yeah. Nobody had bad grants. It was just we did not have enough funding to cover all of the requests.
So in the next budget cycle, DPI is asking to increase school mental health funding tenfold, planning to offer more grants and support from parent-peer specialists like Anna Moffitt from Wisconsin Family Ties, who helps parents of students with mental health issues navigate the system.
It's really a challenge for families to access services. It can be really complicated.
The goal is to reach as many schools and students as possible.
We know that the earlier that we intervene, the best it is, again, not only for that student, but for that family, for the classroom, and for the whole school.
Madison Metro's $75,000 grant will go toward expanding a program called Bounce Back for elementary-age students who have experienced trauma. Districts including Stoughton, Sun Prairie, Lodi, and the Purdyville area are receiving grant funding as well.
Madeline, thank you.
There's an increase of salmonella infections linked to backyard poultry farms. The CDC says 88 cases have been reported since early June. 212 people in 44 states have been infected. 18 of those cases here in Wisconsin. The CDC says these infections began with people touching chicks or ducklings before their illness. No deaths have been linked to the outbreak, but more than 30 people have been hospitalized. Thousands of people from all around the world are in Oshkosh right now. They're attending EAA Air Venture, which started today. More than 500,000 people from 80 countries are expected in the Fox Valley. The event also brings in around 10,000 aircraft. There will be air shows, aerobatics, and workshops held at Air Venture through Sunday.
Aaron Rodgers will swim with the Sharks tonight as part of the Discovery Channel's Shark Week. Rodgers will be on tonight's episode of Monster Tag. It starts at 7 p.m. The Packers quarterback already broke the news that he did not use a cage during the dive, despite his fear of the animals. Shark Week started last night and runs until July 29th. Coming up, remembering a little boy with a passion for serving his community.
And the latest on the fate of a Madison Confederate monument just ahead on News 3 at 6.
The sunshine stays with us tomorrow, but so does the humidity. You'll need the umbrella again for the second half of the week. In my forecast, next.
The future of a controversial Confederate monument in Madison is being pushed back.
The monument has been inside the Forest Hill Cemetery for more than 100 years. Madison City Council members approved to remove a monument that lists the names of 140 Confederate soldiers this April. But the final decision is up to the Landmarks Commission, who met tonight, but ultimately decided to table making a decision until next month. People in favor of removing the monument say it glorifies slavery during the Civil War. Those against say removing the statue is trying to erase history.
Workers are putting the finishing touches on Madison's new Midtown police station. They did so this morning. The new station just off Mineral Point Road is expected to open in September. Work is being done to include some of its neighborhood's character as well into this new building, including references to the building that stood on this property for more than 50 years.
Once I saw the church and saw what was in there and the suggestions from other people, it only made sense to try to incorporate some of the stuff from the church into the design of the building.
News 3's Amanda Quintana shares the inside story of how the new Midtown station will offer a window into Madison's past. That's tonight on News 3 at 10.
Members of the Madison Police Department are remembering a little boy tonight. Dominic was buried with police honors today. He had dreams of becoming a police officer when he was older, often dressing as an officer for Halloween. He also got the chance to meet Madison Police Chief Mike Koval earlier this year. The chief thanked Dominic in his blog post today for reminding him and others on the department how to live a life worth living. Dominic passed away last week when his neighbor accidentally backed into him with a car. He was 5 years old. A Middleton art project is trying to tackle pollution in Dane County's waterways.
And local students have been helping to complete a storm drain mural in downtown. Organizers say that many people don't know that the storm drains go straight to our streams and lakes. They hope these murals can help educate and prevent pollution.
Chris Stapleton will headline next year's Country Thunder Festival. He's a 5-time Grammy Award winner and is known for his song Tennessee Whiskey. The CEO of Country Thunder says he is the most requested country artist. Stapleton will play Sunday, July 21st next year, and tickets for next year's festival are already on sale. Well, you might be able to see the northern lights in parts of Wisconsin and Minnesota tonight. The best chance to see them will be from sunset to 2 a.m. The further north you are, the greater your chance. But the best thing, hope for a clear evening.
With more on that, here's meteorologist Dave Caulfield. How's it looking?
Well, we have had some clouds build in during the afternoon, but I think they will be gone by the time we get to later tonight. So all of that is good news because I've never seen the northern lights in person, and I don't know about you all, but it would be so cool to see, right? Now, there are better chances the farther north you go, of course, as is often the case with these, but remember to get away from city lights. Hopefully we get that clear evening and look north between about 9 and 2 a.m., or 9 p.m. and 2 a.m., I should say. And hopefully those few clouds tonight don't obscure anything, and hopefully the moon doesn't obscure anything either. Visible cloud track showing those clouds decreasing over the past couple of hours. We have had those fair weather cumulus clouds and kind of high hazy cirrus clouds form. Live look in Madison at the current conditions. We are at 83 right now on the WISC-TV Skycam. North-northwest wind at 8 miles per hour. That dew point in the 60s, and our time lapse in Platteville, maybe what it could look like a little bit later on. We are looking, unfortunately, at some darkness right now, but look at that. See, I have some powers, some superpowers. Sometimes I can make it go from dark to light, and we are looking at Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam right now with just a few clouds outside. Temperatures are in the 70s and 80s across southern Wisconsin, 83 in Madison, 82 Janesville, 79 in Monroe, and 85 still in Boscobel. Dew points a little bit on the humid side, that's for sure. 65 in Lone Rock, 66 in Watertown, feeling a little bit better in the Dells with a dew point of 60. And wind speeds out of the north and west at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We really don't have to worry about those winds over the next couple of days like we did this weekend. Actually made it feel a little bit nice this weekend. So our monthly departure for July so far is just above 2 degrees, and over the last couple of days we've been slightly above normal, but really not by much. This entire month we really haven't had really warm days, or just a couple, that is, and we haven't really had a lot of cool days. So we'll see if that trend continues over the last week to week and a half of the month of July. And as I say that, we have the trend for the next 7 days. We'll be in the 70s Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, but back into the 80s for Sunday and Monday. And of course, over the next couple of days, we'll be right around normal, maybe a few degrees above normal for this time of year. 8 to 14 day temperature outlook into the beginning of August. It really does look like much of the country's midsection is looking at below average temperatures on the way, and this unsettled weather that's going to visit us as we head into the next couple of days looks to continue into the start of August as well, with above average precipitation likely in the cards. So for tonight, temperatures in the mid 60s, partly cloudy, mild and muggy, with temperatures in the mid 80s as we head into tomorrow. Mostly sunny, warm and humid. So on future track, it does look like things clear out and we have a nice opportunity. That cold front hangs on just long enough where hopefully we'll get those mostly clear skies for much of tonight. Then into tomorrow, I think any rain showers along that cold front will be closer to Lake Michigan, so we don't need to worry about rain on Tuesday and for much of Wednesday as well. But later on Wednesday, late in the day and at night, that could change with temperatures once again in the 80s. Our next good chance, I would say, of showers and thunderstorms arrives late Wednesday, Thursday. We do have some more chances for showers, slight chances for showers and storms Friday and Saturday. And you can see that unsettled weather really continuing into much of the 10-day forecast, with only a couple of days where we can put that umbrella away.
A tough stretch for the Brewers just got a little tougher. They've lost one of their starting pitchers for the rest of the season. The story's coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Corolla. Tonight on the news at 9, we're taking a look at how proposed tariffs on imported cars and car parts could affect your next trip to the dealership. That's first on Fox at 9.
News 3.
Just when you thought it couldn't get worse for the slumping Milwaukee Brewers, they lose one of their starting pitchers for the rest of the season and probably longer. Brent Suter has a torn ulnar collateral ligament in his left elbow. He'll have Tommy John surgery. Suter's had forearm issues for a while, and the torn UCL is probably related to that. He's pitched over 100 innings so far this season with an 8-7 record and a 4.44 earned run average. Suter had his moments as a Brewers starter, but his 2018 season is now over.
I kind of had an eerie feeling, but I thought the worst it would be like a partial strain UCL. Like I thought it was just still muscle, maybe a little bit ligament damage, but Doc said it was full tear, pretty straightforward. So hugely disappointing, and just setback. But got a new path to take here. Just got to rehab and get back to being stronger than I was before.
Big Ten football media days have begun in Chicago. The Badgers will be on the podium tomorrow with head coach Paul Chryst and players T.J. Edwards, Dakota Dixon, and Michael Dieter. By the way, Edwards and running back Jonathan Taylor were highlighted by the conference as part of the top 5 players to watch in the Big Ten West this season. There's one new head football coach in the Big Ten this year. It's Nebraska's Scott Frost, who played for the Cornhuskers, now in charge with making Nebraska football great again. Frost played for legendary Huskers coach Tom Osborne, who's still mentoring Frost.
But listen, Coach Osborne had the formula Nebraska figured out. Some of the things that he did to make the program arguably the best in the country can still work today. Nebraska's just gone away from him. And we're going to adopt a lot of those things again and do it in a modern way, in a way that recruits and kids are going to want to be a part of.
The Wisconsin Football Coaches Association today released a proposal to dramatically change the conference structure for football in the near future. The proposal would move Janesville-Craig and Janesville-Parker out of the Big 8 into the Badger South and Monroe and Edgewood into the Rock Valley Conference. The new plan, if approved, could happen for the 2020 high school football season. As if we needed another sign that summer was coming to an end, it's All-City Swimming and Diving Week already. It starts today at Westside Swim Club with the All-City Diving Meet. The flags at the pool show the National League Central standings. That's Cubs fan John Spencer rubbing it into all the Brewers fans as the Cubs lead the division by 3.5. A 13- and 14-year-old girls start off the meet. After the preliminary rounds, Ryan Wells of Shorewood was the leader. Wells and High Point's Ava Riggins were in a close battle all the way. Wells had some great dives, but in the end, it was Ava Riggins from High Point who won the 13 and 14 girls age group by less than 5 points. So Ava Riggins, your 13 and 14-year-old girls all-city diving winner. Also winning their age group so far today, Seminoles' Ben Stitchen won his 5th consecutive title. He also won the WIA state diving title last November. And Hawks Landing's Annika Rufnacht wins 11 and 12 girls, and the 11 and 12 boys competition just wrapping up at Westside Swim Club. The swim meet starts at Monona Thursday, so get your last vacation, and guess what?
I say to my son as he's doing this meet this week, I say, we still got a month left, right?
So you gotta find parking and go in and watch for like 38 seconds?
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That's good.
Might have to pull up the station vehicle, maybe get that media parking, try to pull that off. Some diplomatic community there. Bend the rules a little bit. Final check of the forecast.
We do have plenty of sunshine as we end this evening. Temperatures are in the 70s and 80s. Currently in Madison, 83 degrees. North-northwest wind at 8 miles per hour. I do think that we'll just see a few clouds overnight, so hopefully good viewing weather to hopefully see the northern lights. Temperatures tomorrow will be back in the low to mid 80s with plenty of sunshine. Then as we take a quick look at the 7-day forecast, we're in the 70s by the middle of this week with chances for showers and thunderstorms increasing.
It is really nice pool weather. Polar bear loving it. Ready for the all-city swim meet. We'll see you at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.